Oti Boating III, Omanhene of New Dragon. Thank you. We also acknowledge the presence of Nana Entripeni II, Asokorehene and Bentumhene of New Dragon as well. Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much, Nana Dasibre, Nana Peguwate III, Omanhene of New Dragon. We thank you for your traditional leadership of this traditional area. I'd like to also briefly acknowledge the presence of some groups and institutions. The Ministry of Education is ably represented by the various officers in the various departments. We acknowledge your presence. Please give them a round of applause under the leadership of the Education Ministry. There are representatives of heads of agencies at the Ministry of Education who are also here. We acknowledge your presence, including the GOLDBOD Administrator, Paul Ejay. We also have management members of SLTF, the Student Loan Trust Fund, who are here. Please, we acknowledge your presence, as well as the board members. We also are ably joined by principals of various institutions who are here. Show us your hands as we acknowledge your presence. Please raise your hands and give us a wave. These are our various principals of our education institutions, without whose collaboration and support and cooperation we wouldn't have been here today. We acknowledge your presence. Thank you. Let's give ourselves a round of applause as we welcome the CEO of the Student Loan Trust Fund, Sajida Shiraz, to give us the official welcome. Please show us some love. Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, the Chief of Staff and Leadership of the Presidential Secretariat, the Honorable Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu and his able deputy, Honorable Clement Apar, esteemed Ministers of State present, Members of Parliament, Vice Chancellors and Heads of Tertiary Institutions, colleagues, Heads of Agencies, leadership of the National Democratic Congress, trustees of the Student Loan Trust Fund Board, Deputy Chief Executive of the Student Loan Trust Fund, Mr. Samuel Amanin Kududankwa, management and staff of the Student Loan Trust Fund, esteemed chiefs and elders of the Eastern region, distinguished guests, members of the media, cherished students, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you compliments from the Student Loan Trust Fund. It is with great honor and a profound gratitude that I welcome you all to the historic launch of the No Fees Stress Initiative, a policy that marks a significant turning point in our nation's pursuit of a tertiary education regime that is more inclusive, accessible, and equitable. Today is testament to the fact that President John Dramani Mahama is a man of his word. His presence here this afternoon to personally launch this initiative underscores the high priority he places on easing the financial burdens that weigh heavily on the shoulders of our students and their families, and also how invested he is in the human capital development of our country. Ladies and gentlemen, when President Mahama promised the No Fees Stress Initiative for students, what he left unechoed was that he was simply transferring the stress related to fees onto himself and his government. So no Ghanaian student who has the drive and capacity to pursue higher education would ever be forced to abandon their dreams because of financial hardship. What should be echoed, however, is that from manifesto promise to government policy and now actualization, the President has stayed true to the constitutional tenets that behold on him to guarantee equal educational opportunities for everyone and to provide equal access to university or equivalent education where possible. As the implementing agency, the Student Loan Trust Fund is fully committed to operationalizing this vision with diligence, transparency, and a sense of urgency. Through the Ministry of Education under the leadership of the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, we have worked closely with our stakeholders, individually and through organized groupings.
We have worked with the Vice Chancellors Association of Ghana. We have worked with the Vice Chancellors of Technical Universities, principals of colleges of education, health training institutes, and also the National Union of Ghana Students. We have also had engagements with relevant civil society organizations and other agencies of state through consultative and technical committees that the ministry has facilitated the creation of. I note that many of these stakeholders are present here today, and I wish to thank them for providing the perspective that was necessary to fine-tune the implementation of this policy. Your Excellency, our most compelling conversations, however, were with our most important constituents, which are the students. From Kumasi to Tamale, Winneba to Ho, Cape Coast to Sakrade, we heard heartbreaking stories of students unable to register due to financial difficulties. We heard stories of brilliant minds dropping out because of delays in payments and families pushed into distress trying to fund education for their awards. I related very deeply to these stories as they mirror the challenges I faced when I was admitted to the University of Ghana as an orphan girl from Sabligo in the northern region of Ghana. I thank you, Mr. President, for entrusting me with the responsibility to ensure that the challenges I face in accessing and navigating tertiary education are not the same challenges that tertiary students in Ghana would have to contend with. On behalf of all of us from financially handled backgrounds, I say thank you for validating our aspirations. History will be kind. Ladies and gentlemen, the No Fee Stress initiative, which we are launching here today, is a multi-fold promise. It includes proposals to implement a no academic fee policy for all first-year students in all public tertiary institutions. It also includes proposals to provide continuing students with enhanced financial assistance through the Student Loan Plus initiative, and also a proposal to provide free tertiary education for all persons with disabilities. On the 29th of April 2025, we launched the No Fee Stress portal for first-year students of public tertiary institutions to register their details to receive reimbursements from government under the no academic fee policy. Today at launch, a total of 148,429 students have accessed the portal, with 124,358 students completing their applications. We have also received the enrollment data for 135,255 students from public tertiary universities via our tertiary institutions portal. We are expecting them to update us with more data, but so far we have validated 49,956 students for reimbursement. In the coming days, we hope to validate more students and to process reimbursements in a timely fashion. We are also preparing, ladies and gentlemen, to roll out the Student Loan Plus initiative at the beginning of the 2025-2026 academic year. This initiative, as we know, will provide comprehensive support for continuing students to ensure that the barriers that constrain access to equal opportunities are removed. We are also reviewing initial implementation proposals and fine-tuning it for the operationalization of the free tertiary for persons with disabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, a revamped SLTF, which will ensure fund disbursements to students, was also a no-fees promise. Forgive my immodesty, Mr. President, but I'm happy to announce that this promise has been delivered. The Students' Loan Trust Fund Board this year has disbursed first semester loans to a total of 38,440 students across 145 public and private tertiary institutions. And for the first time in 4 years, the SLTF has commenced the payment of second semester loans. Exactly 3 days ago, we paid second semester loans to 19,703 students across 135 public and private institutions. The days SLTF approved students for loans we could not give is over, and the nonchalance that characterized the shameful failure to meet core mandate challenges are a thing of the past. My appreciation goes to the GOLDBOD Fund Administrator for prioritizing the President's tertiary education financing research agenda and committing to making available to SLTF the funds that are necessary for us to meet our commitments. I hope Mr. Polade remembers this shout-out when I go to his office on Monday for another check. Distinguished guests, the Students' Loan Trust Fund has been tasked to provide training allowances, student loans, and other diverse funding options for teachers and nursing trainees. In April this year, we facilitated the payment of outstanding 3 months allowance for the 2023-2024 academic year to 65,685 teacher trainees from 46 public colleges of education. And with the rollout of the no-academic fee stress policy for all public institutions, including nursing and training institutions, we believe the stage has been set for a renewed conversation on what diverse tertiary education financing options should be prioritized for nursing and teacher trainees in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, the SLTF board is committed not only to the timely disbursement of students' loans, but we are exploring also an increase in the loan amounts for the 2025-2026 academic year in consonance with the President's promises under the no-fee stress policy. Distinguished guests, permit me to say a big thank you to the management and staff of SLTF who have worked tirelessly to actualize the no-fee stress policy. From our unsophisticated officers in Asalong down, our incredible team have meticulously planned and executed a sophisticated implementation operation. We have developed robust systems to register students, verify student eligibility, disburse funds, and monitor progress. I assure you, Mr. President, that no element of your vision of an enhanced tertiary education finance regime will go unfulfilled. We thank you for your leadership and assure you of our commitment to the attainment of your vision of a thriving Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, on this 4th day of July in the year 2025, at the beautiful campus of the SDA College of Education, I say welcome to the official launch of the no-fee stress.
Another round of applause. That was a great, powerful presentation. Efficiency in motion. Dr. Sajida Shiraz, CEO of the Student Loan Trust Fund. Before we move on, Dasibre Kwekuwati III, Omanhene of New Job and Traditional Area, would like to return the greetings to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He will be accompanied by Nana Joaben Sewa III, New Joaben Manhema. Please, let's give them a round of applause as they approach the first stage. We're moving on to the rest of the program. I'd like to invite to give us a statement the NUC's president. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Daniel Kole Boche, the president of the National Union of Ghana Students.
Your Excellency, the President, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chief of Staff, Honorable previous deadline. Honorable Minister for Education and MP from Tamale South, Honorable Parliamentary, other Ministers of State, Deputy Minister for Education and MP for Bosa South, Dr. Kevin, Omahin for New Driving Traditional Area, Nana Nasibre, GOLDBOD, the third, Chairman, Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, Members of Parliament here present, CEO for Students Loan Trust Fund, Administrator for the Ghana Education Trust Fund, distinguished guests, ladies, fellow students, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. On behalf of the over 12.5 million Ghanaian students, both home and abroad, represented by the National Union of Ghana Students, I extend a heartfelt appreciation and deep gratitude as we gather to mark the official launch of the low fees stress policy, a true milestone in Ghana's education journey. Today's event is more than ceremonial. It is a signal of hope and opportunity, a declaration to every Ghanaian student, especially those from low-income households, that their educational journey shall no longer be cut short by financial limitations. Your Excellency, we are deeply grateful. Today's initiative marks a bold, compassionate response to one of the most persistent barriers faced by students: school fees. The low fees stress initiative, which currently covers students in public tertiary institutions, is a bold step correcting generational inequalities in accessing higher education. It directly aligns with the very motto of looks: education a right and not a privilege. It affirms our long-held belief that the ability to one's dream and rise through education must not be gated by money. You have breathed life into that belief, turning advocacy into reality. As part of our ongoing National Youth Festival, engaging students at all levels, one profound message we have carried to final year senior high school students across the country is: just pass your exams, gain admissions. Fees will no longer stop your dreams. President Mahama has promised us. Ladies and gentlemen, this milestone is a result of dedicated leadership from several fronts. Permit me to specially acknowledge Dr. Sajida Shiraz, CEO for Students Loan Transfer. I've had the privilege of engaging her on many occasions, pushing, proposing, and advocating for relief for students. Her commitment to rethinking financial support system for students is unmatched, and her open door leadership style has made Students Loan Transfer a real partner for students' welfare. To the Honorable Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, Member of Parliament for Tamale South, I wish to offer an even deeper commendation. One, I have come to witness firsthand integrity, commitment with which he serves. He has proven to be a minister who listens, a minister who acts, a minister who makes room for students' voices in national education discourse. His strong support for NUTS's role in facilitating critical reforms and untiring work behind the scenes to make this policy a reality deserves national praise. His open engagement with student leadership has helped bridge the gap between policy and lived experiences of learners. Honorable, Ghana is indeed fortunate to have such a visionary and student-focused minister of education as you. Let's look at Dr. Clement Park, our Deputy Minister for Education, thank you for your hands-on support, continuous engagement, and your thoughtful contribution to students' discussions. Mr. Paul J, Minister Administrator for GOLDBOD, we appreciate your role in supporting sustainable funding for educational development and the synergy between institutions like GOLDBOD and SLTF is critical, and your efforts are deeply acknowledged by the student body. I would like to commend the Low Fee Stress Consultative Committee, of which I am a member of, that worked behind the scenes to shape and operationalize this policy. Your thorough analysis, tireless consultation, and technical guidance have helped build a policy that will transform lives. And the management and staff of the Students' Loan Class Fund, who have worked diligently behind the scenes, providing technical coordination, administrative systems, and the support structures necessary for the success of this program. Your collective efforts deserves national applause. You are the unsung heroes of today's celebration. Your Excellency, we celebrate this progress. As we celebrate this progress, we at NUTS are hopeful that in the very near future, students in accredited private tertiary institutions will also be considered for grants of similar magnitude under this policy, like you have done for the free SHS policy, because they too are part of Ghana's developmental future. Finally, Your Excellency, your legacy will be written not only in infrastructure, but in the dreams you have restored, the burdens you have lifted, and the futures you have secured. The no-fee stress policy is a generational promise, and generations of students will remember it. Let us all commit to nurturing, sustaining, and expanding this vision. If this was an all-students gathering, I would have said, Alita Continua, and you all respond, Victoria Ascenta. Alita Continua, Victoria Ascenta. It means the struggle continues, but victory is certain. Long live Ghanaian, all Ghanaian students. Long live no-fee stress policy. Long live John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency the President. Long live the Republic of Ghana. Thank you very much.
Long live the National Union of Ghana Students. Aluta Continua. You didn't just forget. You did not forget. Aluta Continua. I didn't hear you. Aluta Continua. Indeed, we will commit to nurturing, sustaining, and enhancing all programs that will support the children and the students of Ghana. Before we move on, I'd like to quickly acknowledge the presence of our Council of State member representative here. Please give her a round of applause. Madame Evelyn Koran. Madame, let's meet you. Thank you so very much for representing. I also see one of the sons of the Eastern region, the Honorable Chairman of Oswan Konfo, who is also advisor to the Vice President of the Nano Kubaduman, and the Secretary, ever-present Secretary of the President, ever-present Secretary of the President, Dr. Callistus Mahama, we acknowledge your presence as well. Next on the program, I'd like to invite to give us a remarks or a statement the principal of SDA College of Education, Professor Vincent Azaki Mensah. Thank you very much.
President of the Republic of Ghana. My voice today tells you how much work we put into hosting this program. Your Excellency, in your honor, all protocols observed. Today is an important moment. And I want to let you know that you are the first 7 Ghanaian presidents to come to this campus. And you are not just passing as a visitor, but you are launching an important program. There is a time in the history of a nation where a leader emerges. And that leader has a vision, which is a vision of hope. And the people trust that leader, that vision is not one that will be short-lived. And I think that comment was eloquently made by the next president, who said that this program we are launching today is a generational promise. May God bless you for introducing this initiative. Mr. President, there are few leaders who have the opportunity to reflect on their leadership, take stock, and return to make things better. And you are fortunate to be the Ghanaian president as this opportunity, as you served as a former vice president, and had 8 years to reflect and come back to make things better. May God bless you for that. Mr. President, much has been invested in the education sector. Many policies have been implemented, and a lot of changes have been introduced. But the tertiary education sector requires some special attention. Many forget that the tertiary education sector is like the last person in a relay race that takes the baton and finishes the race. And your policy we are launching today give testimony to that fact, that you recognize that the tertiary sector requires some important attention that will facilitate the opportunity for many brilliant but needy Ghanaians to be able to realize their dreams of tertiary education. God bless you on their behalf. I want to thank you so much for delivering on this promise. Yesterday on this campus, a lot of students went about jubilating, and they were happy because they were receiving alerts that the monies were being paid to them. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, because my daughter received her alerts. So now you understand why I'm thanking you so much. Your Excellency, I stand on behalf of all heads of tertiary institutions to express our support for this policy and to thank you for the investment in the sector. For us, we recognize that the tertiary sector as a whole requires some important investment to grow and to do the research that is necessary to transform our society. However, your commitment to launch this program in a college of education provides a very important statement to the Ghanaian population, because this is where teachers are trained, and these are the teachers that go back to train other products in the society for the pre-tertiary level, and they come back to the tertiary institution to benefit from this policy and goes back. So that is a total approach to education, and we want to recognize that you have chosen a College of Education to launch this program. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate you for a number of things. One, our staff have been on strike many times asking for them to be migrated. Thank you that following the migration, you have also paid that base, and we are very grateful for that. So now the industrial strike that has affected the growth and development of 8 ongoing hostel projects in the colleges of education, we are grateful. Your Excellency, one of the issues that require your immediate attention for the colleges is that to help us get those vehicles. Your Excellency, it will surprise you that the principal who is speaking to you came here in a 2007 registered Nissan Patrol vehicle. That vehicle is now 18 years old. I just think that it will be important for you to direct so that one vehicle will be left for the principal to transport tomorrow. Your Excellency, this college, when you are hosting this event, will be grateful to remember you that you came here to this college to launch this important policy. We have only one thing to ask. One is payment to testify when you have been here. Thank you, Mr. President, for making sure that this launch happened in this college. And on behalf of all the principals of colleges of education, on behalf of all the leadership of tertiary education institutions in Ghana, we want to appreciate you for choosing us. And on behalf of the students and staff of this college, we want to appreciate you for having us here. We thank you so much, because this policy will definitely transform the future of our students, the future of Ghanaian children, and the future of the Ghanaian education system.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think that the principal and he reminds me of the statement, opportunity comes back. We know they are got to Chachawale. Thank you very much for being a great representative and advocate for your institution. And let us take just a minute now to recognize again, especially the presence of all our tertiary students who are today beneficiaries of this program. Please rise up and let's give you a round of applause and give you a special recognition. Where are you? Show us, show us, show us, show us. Let's see your faces. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it will certainly continue. I think on Tuesday, hello, there was the launch of President Mahama's flagship 24-hour economy, right? Do you remember how many pillars the economy is based on? 8 pillars. How many pillars? 8. I'm going to mention the pillars, and you're going to tell me which pillars you find yourself as students, okay? So pillar 1, Grow 24, which is around agric and food sovereignty. Are you there? Pillar 2, Make 24, manufacturing and industrial survival. Can you find yourself there yet? Okay, let's keep going. Build 24, construction and public works. Are you there yet? I don't think so. Connect 24, logistics, transport and digital infrastructure. Do you find yourselves there yet? Okay, let's keep going. Hey, will we find yourself? Let's see. Fund 24, access and capital to innovative finance. Do you find yourself here? Hey, think again. Do you find yourself here? Innovative financing. Why do you think you are getting the alerts? It is because of innovative financing, not so. So you have found yourself in 24-hour economy, yes? Let's keep going. Aspire 24, which is about skills development, education, digital capacity. Do you find yourself here? Do you find yourself here? So you're in the 24-hour economy. You are there, not so. And the last one, Goal 24, national mobilization for productivity. As students of Ghana, are you part of the national mobilization for productivity? Will you make the 24-hour economy work? Let's give ourselves a round of applause to all of us. So this is all about it, and it's going to change our country for the better. So now let's sit back and relax and watch this documentary that has been prepared especially for you to see the journey the Student Loan Trust Fund has had to go through to be here today, this moment. Enjoy this documentary, ladies and gentlemen.
President John Dramani Mahama remains committed and dedicated to honoring his pledge of no academic fees for students in public tertiary institutions. This policy initiative is meant to benefit students from financially disadvantaged backgrounds who are unable with their parents to afford the fees and may even miss the opportunity to access higher education or to taste higher education because they are just not able to mobilize the needed minimum academic fees.
Hello, my name is is the Mahama policy and implemented by the government of Ghana. It will help reduce the pressure on parents and children who are on their own. People who are on their own. The teachers will get away to bring higher rate of employment in the society because a lot of students have completed it and they are doing nothing and it's because they don't have money to go to school. And the most interesting part is that disabilities are not paying fees at all. Compared to the year complete, they are not paying fees at all. It is amazing.
The no fixed rates policy is born out of a manifesto promise made by the NDC and espoused by His Excellency John Mahama. It is intended to give an opportunity to students who hitherto wouldn't have had an opportunity to gain a tertiary level education to be able to do so by addressing one very important barrier of access, which is financial access. We are reimbursing because the president is empathetic. He knows and is aware that some students are being denied even access to examination rooms because they have not been able to honor their academic facility fees. And therefore, the Student Loan Trust is leading the drive.
The Student Loan Trust Fund is committed to implementing this policy in a way that is seamless, in a way that is transparent. We want to be sure that we leave an audit trail, and we want to be sure that after this we embark on a series of monitoring and evaluation for learning, because this is a pilot program.
To give effect to the policy, the Minister for Education, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has worked assiduously, including the formation of a committee, which I proudly chair, to work out the modalities to ensure fairness and equity, because that is what Ghana requires.
After consultations with our stakeholders, the Student Loan Trust Fund rolled out our implementation for the no fee stress policy, starting with the no academic fee policy. We had an application process, we had a validation process, and after that, we had a disbursement process and monitoring and evaluation process. The starting process was the application process, and we developed an application portal which we dubbed the No Fee Stress portal. Since then, more than 130,000 people have accessed our portal. Our portal is integrated with the liveliness test from the National Identification Authority. So when you access the portal via our website, you enter your Ghana card details, and in real time, your Ghanaianship is verified. We then pull your data from the NIA servers and populate the portal. Subsequently, you give us your institutional data, and if you have an existing bank account with a disbursing bank, you give it to us. Alternatively, within 2 minutes, you can create a bank account on our servers, which is an e-bank account, which you can utilize fully without ever having to step into a bank.
The Students Fund in Ghana is definitely excited about the no fee stress policy introduced by government. It needs to be used that this is one of the very great tools. We have to take away one major impediment in the educational ladder of students. Many students are able to cross over from the SHS level, and when they get to the tertiary level, paying fees becomes a challenge. And this policy has come to open the door. Now, it is not about whether you have the funds to pay, but it's about your performance. Once you are able to perform, you are able to go through. I'm excited about this. Ghanaian students are excited about this. And we believe that this will be a game changer, and it's going to open the frontiers of education for all.
When romantic can do what I've been in the country, Cabal, maybe you can think, so I take a part tonight. Then the baby will put into my classroom, Magdalene, but the women in John University. They really love 3 months to Luna. Initially, we are Tabata, the matter had done that from good. Take a woman to my line, Jinala. Until I will teach a day, she couldn't jump when you are drunk. We will be lesson, G. Coming back, you Mexico.
I'm with Directness and Hassan, reading DSC Molecular Biology and Biotechnology. Please, the no fee stress policy is not a scam, it's real. It's not a scam, so we shall apply. And this money they are going to give us probably next semester or next academic year, when I'm going to 200, I'll be able to use to buy my provisions or even buy some other items for school. So I encourage that those who haven't applied and are still thinking that, oh, it's not real, kindly apply. Thank you very much.
So my name is Brianna. 100 students and a BSc Biomedical Science students. I want to talk about the no-fee stress. Since I'm in level 100 and in second semester, the government is going to refund our school fees to us so that we can use it to cater for the next academic year.
The no academic fee policy of President John Dramani Mahama even became more significant for me only when on 31st May of this year, in a sensitization workshop at the UGS campus in Tamale, I came across 19 students with genuine challenge of paying fees who were denied access to examination because they simply could not afford to pay their fees. It only reminded me there are a significant number of Ghanaians who may be unable to pay their academic fees because of their poor financial background and probably the inability of their parents to support them. The state is stepping in. That's what Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing.
We have all witnessed the impact of the Students' Loan Trust Fund after the launch of the portal. We have heard several accounts about how the fund has significantly improved the lives of its beneficiaries. The Students' Loan Trust Fund Board is committed to supporting management to reset higher education financing in Ghana. We thank the President of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, and the Minister of Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, for revamping the trust fund. The students of Ghana are immensely grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for the leadership of the Student Loan Trust Fund. I think that their work output so far is indicative of what can be achieved if agencies actually work together collaboratively and nobody is preoccupied with who takes the credit. Eventually, we'll see these results. So congratulations to all of you and well done. We hope to see more impact so that we can also, as communicators, communicate with pride, not so. Let's give them another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to briefly acknowledge the presence of all of our MMDCs who are here. Where are you? MMDCs, there you are. Thank you for coming. Please, you must monitor these programs in your district as well so that you bring us real viable reports that we can communicate to the good people of Ghana. 2028 is not very far away. We are coming back, not so. Thank you so very much. Also to, I see the National Youth Authority CEO is also in our midst. We acknowledge your presence as well. If I have not yet acknowledged your presence, forgive me. You are a very distinguished guest to the President. Now, to the moment we've all been waiting for, I'd like to invite upstage the Honorable Minister for Education, Gando, as he is popularly called, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, for his remarks and introduction of our next esteemed speaker.
Yes, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana and Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Chief of Staff and Executive Secretary to the President, the Honorable Minister for the Interior, Deputy Ministers, Chairman Apofo, Evelyn representing the Council of State, the Sibre Nana Pekubati, the third heads of institutions, vice chancellors, and principals, the administration, GES, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This evening is a very simple one. Is to introduce our special guest of honor and guest speaker, whose thoughts is what have gathered us today. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, I had cause somewhere to say that Judge John Dramani Mahama, his hallmark with humility, judgment, and compassion. This was before December. So today I'll choose just one of those words, compassion. Today we've gathered here, John Dramani Mahama, to the students I say, compassion personified. They've come to give meaning to his pledge and honor. And for us, what is significant is that John Dramani Mahama is re-establishing trust and confidence in the elected elites of our country and our democracy. And to our students, he is working on that leg, compassion. Mr. President, I've shared with you the story at UTS. Let me now share this vivid experience of Virtues Achimesa, St. Mary's Boys Senior High School, was declared Best Student in Visual Arts in the 2024 West Africa Examination Council, West Africa Best Performing Student from the Western region, APOA in the Western region. Mr. President, while the West Africa Exam Council was announcing how brilliant this young man was, he was accompanied by his parents, who openly acknowledged that the boy had not been able to access tertiary education because they simply don't have the financial will to do it. Principal of SDA College, I'm sure whatever pledges and promises, the amount of promise and honor is before you, John Dramani Mahama. But at least in your welcome remarks, you reminded us in this room that you are a parent. So beyond the students, many parents are very grateful, Mr. President, to this initiative. And many of them are gathered in this room. Today's meeting is for Excellency John Dramani Mahama to walk the talk and to keep honor. And for me, I simply put it this way, that John Dramani Mahama is now the fountain of honor. Today, from that fountain, they will drink with the students in our first year tertiary public institutions across Ghana. This policy also extends to persons with disability who, Mr. President, have guaranteed full fee payment. The Honorable Deputy Minister, together with the Chair of the Federation for Disabled People, are working on the roadmap for the effective take-off of the disbursement for students who are persons who are challenged. As I said, my task is an easy one, but once you have the President and the GOLDBOD Fund Administrator sitting closer to him, I will conclude my introduction with one remark. Mr. President, that next year, the GOLDBOD Fund will double its allocation to the Student Loan Trust from 70 million to 150 million to support students who will want to access it better. Excellency John Dramani Mahama, before I invite you to the podium, even at the wine ceremony, I will next week on your behalf, in honor of one of your campaign promises, lay the Scholarship Authority Bill before Parliament to deal with the nepotism, cronyism that was associated with the award of scholarship. And in that bill, now I'm really the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, the Honorable Gov't. In that bill, again,
to the legacy, enduring legacy of President Mahama, there will be what we call the President's Scholarship for Scholarship, which will recognize awarding brilliant students in the country need areas, if it is science, mathematics, and engineering, at the President's pleasure, not nepotistic pleasure. Not nepotistic pleasure, at his pleasure. So the President's Scholarship for Scholarship will honor 10 brilliant students determined and declared by the West African Exam Council as the overall best students in the country. Then the President will then absorb them to benefit from his scholarship and will have his full tenure. Let me thank Chair Clement Apak and the ministerial team that worked with him, recognizing Professor George Ojo, Mamle Andrew, Matilda Inusa and Aminu, and Dr. Sadia, the Student Loan Trust, for working together to make this. I have the greatest honor and pleasure to introduce the President of the Republic of Ghana. And I said, he works with humility, compassion, and judgment. John Dramani Mahama, Mr. President.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Education, Karen Idrisu, for those kind words. Let me begin by acknowledging and thanking Dasibre Gov't, the third domining of New Draben traditional area, Nana Draben Sewa, the third, the Omankema of New Draben traditional area, and your traditional chiefs who have accompanied you here. We thank you for lending your royal presence to this occasion. Thank you very much. God bless you. Members of the Council of State, Chief of Staff, Ministers of State and senior government officials, Members of Parliament, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, the CEO of the Student Loan Trust and your team, regional chairmen and functionaries of the NDC, principals of colleges of education, and stakeholders in our education sector, the clergy, my cherished students, because of whom we are gathered here today, our friends from the media, the good people of Ghana. I want to make a few comments before I go into my speech. When your college was chosen as the venue for the no-fee stress policy launch, I asked what one of the pressing needs in the college was so that we could reward you for hosting the initiative. And wait, it's coming. And I was told that you are in dire need of a male hostel. And so I came, I consulted the GOLDBOD Fund and everybody with the intention of pledging a male hostel. When the principal spoke, he said the priority need is a multi-purpose lecture hall and auditorium. And so I consulted the Minister of Education and I said, shall we withdraw the male hostel and replace it with a multi-purpose lecture hall? And the Minister of Education said, no, add the multi-purpose. Luckily, the GOLDBOD Fund boss is here. So allocation is going to be made in their next budget for a male hostel and a multi-purpose lecture. In addition, your principal raised the issue of mobility, vehicles. The Ministry of Education has its program already. This year they are ordering 66-seater buses for tertiary education institutions. Your college will benefit from one of them. And they're also ordering 50 vehicles for principals of colleges of education. So your principal will also benefit from one vehicle. So principal, we don't need to leave any of the vehicles we brought behind. Yours is coming. Manage with the 18-year-old for the meantime. No, but thank you very much, all of you. I think today is a very pleasant day to celebrate. And I must tell you that this initiative was born out of the real lives of some people that we had seen. There is a girl who received admission to the University of Development Studies. And her story was carried by the social media. I'm sure several of you would have seen it. She was sitting by her mother and they were roasting plantain. And apparently this girl had qualified for medicine in the University of Development Studies. But her mother didn't have the money to pay the academic fees for her to register. And so she had to sit by her mother to roast the plantain, hoping that they'll be able to raise enough money. We looked out for her, we found her, and found her mother. And so we took her to the university. We paid the academic fees for her. And we not only paid the academic fees for her, we asked UDS to give us her fees for the whole course. And they gave it to us. And we paid her fees until she finishes university. So that was one of the stories that moved us to put into the manifesto the no fee stress policy. The second was a brilliant young man who had qualified to do engineering in the Parliamentary University of Science and Tech. And again, there was a story in the social media of him going to the farm. School had opened, they had not gone to register because his family had not yet harvested their crops to sell and be able to raise the money for him to go. So again, we had to intervene and sort out the academic fees for the young man to go to school. So we realized that these are not isolated stories. These are real stories of people. We have free compulsory universal basic education in Ghana. And then we have introduced the free SHS program. So most parents do not pay anything for the education of their children until they finish senior high school. Then suddenly they are hit with the shock of having to cough up significant amounts of money to be able to put their children through tertiary education. And so we said, at least for the first year, give the child the opportunity to enter the institution without stress and get the opportunity to register onto the student loan trust and apply for support to pay subsequent fees. So that was the thinking that went into the no fee stress policy. And I'm very happy that we are here today to launch it. I was watching on the social media and I saw students dancing and jumping. Some wanted to jump from upstairs. And the person who sent me the video, I said, why, what's wrong with these students? And he said, so they just got alerts for their no fee stress money. And so all of you who haven't applied, especially in the colleges of education, some people in colleges of education think that they are not part of it. All of you in the colleges of education, in nursing training colleges, in the public, in all the other public tertiary institutions, you qualify for the no fee stress class. And so now it gives me immense joy to join you here today in Koforidua, a city steeped in learning and leadership, to launch an initiative that speaks directly to the heart of our national aspirations. The right of every Ghanaian child to access tertiary education, regardless of family income, social background, or place of birth. Today we launched the no-fee stress policy, a bold, equity-driven intervention designed to remove financial barriers to entry into public tertiary institutions. Beginning this academic year, the state will cover the academic-related fees of all first-year students admitted in our public universities, colleges of education, technical universities, and nursing training institutions, who in many cases would otherwise have had to forgo their dreams for lack of funds. This policy is more than a budgetary item, it is a moral, constitutional, and developmental initiative. Far too many of our young people have worked hard to pass their exams and earn the place in our tertiary institutions, only to be turned away because their families cannot afford the upfront academic fees that have to be paid. Let the numbers speak for themselves. In 2022-2023 academic year, over 150,000 students were admitted to public tertiary institutions. Yet a significant number of thousands could not take up these admissions due to the inability to pay the academic-related fees. Data from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission reveals that many more have had to defer or drop out of their programs each year for this very reason. A student in a college of education, for instance, receives a monthly allowance of 200 cedis in the 2024-25 academic year, but was expected to pay 1,362 Ghana cedis as admission fees. In nursing colleges, the fees were even higher. Receiving the same 200 cedis a month, they were required to pay 2,340 Ghana cedis as admission fees. The annual student loan of 2,550 cedis falls far short in covering university academic-related fees, which in some cases are as high as 8,000 cedis. And the tragedy is that they are required to pay these fees when they have not yet had the opportunity to register for the student loan scheme. These are not just statistics. Behind each number I mentioned is a face and a dream deferred. Tertiary education is not just about a certificate. It is the engine that powers a modern society. It is the engine that creates teachers, doctors, engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, and public servants. It spurs innovation, it deepens civic responsibility, and fosters national identity. According to the World Bank, every additional year of tertiary education increases an individual's earning by up to 17% in developing countries. And yet, according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census of Ghana, only 18% of Ghanaians aged 18 and above have completed tertiary education. This means over 80% of our adult population lacks post-secondary qualification. In a nation that is striving to build a resilient, knowledge-driven economy, this gap is one we cannot afford to maintain. The no-fee stress policy has been designed with deliberate inclusivity and scalability. Its key components include the no academic fees policy. Under this policy, the government will cover the academic-related fees for all first-year students admitted to public tertiary institutions. Then the second of the no-fee stress policy is the Student Loan Plus initiative. This is a restructured financing model that provides enhanced support for continuing students with expanded eligibility and simplified access. And as you were just informed, next year, the money allocated to the student loan scheme is going to be doubled. And so you will also expect a doubling of your student loan. Then we also have the free tertiary education for persons with disability. To ensure full inclusion and compliance with our obligations under the Disability Act, all persons with disability shall have free tertiary education from first year until they complete. As I told you already, there will be increased student loan amounts which will reflect the real cost of tertiary education, and it will be adjusted annually for inflation. We also have diversified student funding mechanism, including targeted scholarships for underrepresented communities and disciplines that are vital to our national development. In addition, students in fee-paying programs without regular track equivalents will receive a reimbursement of up to 2,500 cedis for their academic fees. Ladies and gentlemen, this policy is complementary, it's not substitutionary. It does not replace existing allowances and loans, but it lightens the heaviest burden, that is the cost of entry, that keeps thousands of brilliant students outside the gates of institutions like this. This policy is not about welfare, it is about fairness. It is about restoring dignity to the Ghanaian student. It is about affirming that the right to education is not a privilege for only the wealthy, but it's a shared national inheritance. Education is the grand equalizer. It bridges the gap between where a child is born and what the child can become. This policy ensures that geographical location, gender, disability, or socio-economic background will no longer determine who can sit in a university lecture hall. Across the world, countries are embracing the value of publicly supported tertiary education. In Germany, public universities charge no tuition fees, not even for most international students. In Norway, Finland, and Scotland, all these countries have adopted similar models, recognizing that education is not a cost to be feared, but it is an investment to be protected. These countries have, as a result, developed highly skilled populations, reduced youth unemployment, and increased social mobility and enhanced civic engagement. Ghana must not be left behind. We must prioritize our people's intellectual capital as our greatest asset. Let me use this occasion to call upon all our stakeholders. To my students, this opportunity is yours to seize. Focus, excel, and commit yourselves to serving your nation, Ghana. To our tertiary institutions, implement this policy with transparency, compassion, and excellence, and let us make this a model of effective public delivery. To the private sector and our development partners, I invite you to co-invest in this future through endowment funds, bursary schemes, and public-private financing models that extend the reach and sustainability of this initiative. Let us work together to raise a generation of Ghanaians who are confident, skilled, and ready to build a prosperous and united nation. Mr. Chairman, as we were told, 150,000 students have so far accessed the portal. But for those of you who have not accessed the portal, you better start doing so now. Out of this, 34,500 have been validated and are awaiting payment. And out of that number, as of yesterday, 15,000 students have received their alerts for payment. This is just the beginning. And today, with our student educators, parents, and development partners, I'm pleased to declare the no-fee stress policy officially launched. Let it be known across this land that from today, no Ghanaian child will be denied entry into tertiary education simply because they cannot afford the academic fees. This is a path to a more just society This is how to build a future where no dream is deferred and no potential is wasted. And I'm pleased to inform you that we're also working on your trainee allowances. And soon you will start receiving alerts for your trainee allowances. This time we're structuring it in a way where you will receive it monthly. And so the accountant, you let me finish. The accountant general department is going to be responsible for it. So anytime they load salaries for your fathers, your parents who are working, they will load your trainee allowances too onto your phone. In conclusion, in launching this initiative, we also fulfill our constitutional mandate under Article 38(3) of the 1992 Constitution, which enjoins the state to provide equal access to university or equivalent education to all Ghanaians. We are building a Ghana where opportunity is not inherited but created, a Ghana where education is not rationed by class or by cash, but granted by merit and upheld by the collective will of our people. And so I pray that God bless the youth of Ghana, may God bless our institutions, and may God bless our homeland Ghana.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, yes, Yapwa, you was Yapoin. David, a good year, a catch Messiah, Mini.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, American before, Nanam Atem winner, yes, when the Jim Casacra, yes, Ramo, Yam of Frat, say a Fuma, who fancy, Nam Tene.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we are rampant section. Mansard as a walk to two Yasama or Mao, a crop. A common Sasa good and Segonda this year. O mene sunu pa yebretuo na wo sim sisi e kwabra focha wo na manta pa de ko. His Excellency Oyo Bentu Finance afuni mdifua enede Ghana man nyina bonto akobeda wo sare musai a wo che aserewa ma ebike gonja achichidini a wachiti wotuntu a wose wo abraboa berema ne ntukasi a opeta ne nansi obodanso mo opanyira wo openimada ekosonso ena Ghana man to santene iwo nkokromotisi weni se be ye wo mampeni ne boso ne so obeponda ekosonso ena wo fro Ghana abenya sa okatechie ne mbre so. His Excellency, a young Kensia and Quebec as a way come back. Up with you. Bosumi said, what can the people say a woman a yow and Nintina and Netta is here. His Excellency, 10 about SDA College of Education. So, who be no stress policy? I am being a program product. Now, answer a way about near
His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, come your Siena Kendro, as a way this war, and Papuyo. Oh, my, who say Ghana for say, Sawaba, Chicago goes to a man of women, so I say yes, and he has answered. Oh, Brenna say, what was yo and Sakayabe, and who never since you are my Shasufwa, or Shasika Postman. And young Kanya Subu for Yinaji, since they would in the Anapa Estate as a good point in them. I'm my Indian working 20 young men. And Sika for the Yapek. 16, what's $2 see? I'm my
John Dramani Mahama. It's not for what I was saying, bro. Ghana Mass, what about your group? SDA College of Education. You see, I'm
Michael, please come.
Left.